This is the conscious hour. And the conscious hour is when you wake up and go, there's no way in hell we're going to sit back and watch this.
At 2 a.m. on Tuesday, local time, in the Gaza Strip, Washington inaugurated a new era in world politics. This was the moment Israel timed its attacks on dozens of targets in the enclave to coincide with Suhoor, the pre-dawn meal eaten by Muslims in preparation for a day of fasting. The timing was designed to inflict maximum civilian casualties as families across Gaza gathered to eat and pray during the holy month of Ramadan. Even if they had little or no food to consume, the mass simultaneous attacks on 100 separate locations achieved their objective, surpassing in one night all the other acts of wanton butchery by Israeli forces during the 18-month war on Gaza. More than 400 Palestinians were killed, including more than 170 children, according to Gaza health officials. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu sought and got the green light from Washington before launching these attacks. US President Donald Trump thus signaled a new era in global affairs by giving his consent for a wave of attacks that broke every aspect of the ceasefire deal signed in the presence of international guarantors. In one act, Trump turned the West that his nation claims to lead into the Wild West. From this moment on, no treaty, ceasefire, or international agreement that the US signs is worth the paper it's printed on. A US president who persuaded the credulous imams of Michigan that he was now a man of peace now uses the label Palestinian as a political slur against Jewish democratic politicians. The president who vowed to stop all wars has launched or permitted airstrikes in Yemen, Gaza, Lebanon and Syria simultaneously, and is promising that all hell will break loose on Iran if it doesn't submit to his demands. A US president who told the families of the hostages he would do everything in his power to get them back alive has allowed Israel to effectively apply its Hannibal directive to the 24 who, before Tuesday morning's attacks, were still believed to be living. If Israel behaves like this, what incentive does it now give Hamas to keep the remaining hostages alive? For Netanyahu, the timing of the attacks was everything, for quite different reasons. On Tuesday, he was due to appear in court on multiple corruption charges, which, as the case progresses, is tightening the political noose round his neck. The renewed war gave him the excuse to tell the court he could not attend. It's also no coincidence that Tuesday's bombardment comes just before a key budget vote, with ultra-Orthodox lawmakers threatening to topple the government if a law excluding their community from conscription is not passed. By the way, Itamar Ben-Gvir is now back in the cabinet. Bezalel Smotrich, Netanyahu's finance minister and leader of the extremist religious Zionist party, was right all along when he assured the world that Netanyahu would resume the war in Gaza. On Tuesday, Smotrich said the hostage families had been heard too much during a clash at the Knesset with Ayala Metzger, the daughter-in-law of the slain captive Yoram Metzger. We thought we were serving in the Israeli army, not the army of God's vengeance, she said. In these very moments, we are murdering hostages, and there is a deal on the table. But for the religious Zionists, who now form the single most powerful group in Israel, the army of God's vengeance is exactly what the campaign in Gaza is all about.
It's hard to even imagine what they're going to do next. They're going to eliminate all of the Palestinians. And people in America have been mixed. Oh, we support this Zionism. No, we don't support Zionism. They are going to be eliminated, or the world will be eliminated. Which one do you want?